Just imagine you work for 24 hours without a break. And then you work again the next day without any kind of break or rest in between. Sounds like a nightmare, right? Is there anybody who can really work so hard continuously without any kind of rest? It's definitely not possible, right? But you know what? There is one organ inside us which really does not demand any rest. It keeps working non-stop. You must have probably understood that I am talking about the heart. The heart functions as a pumping organ, making sure that blood flows continuously throughout the body. And remember, the heart is not responsible for filtering or purifying blood. It's purely a pumping organ. Let's now talk about this miraculous, hard-working organ in detail. Now, before we begin understanding the heart, I want you to understand one thing really well. When we take a look at the heart, it will be from the perspective of the person to whom the heart belongs. So if we are looking at the heart of this person, this is going to be the right side that we refer to, and this would be the left side. We are looking at the person's right and left sides. Beginning with the structure first, the shape of the heart is slightly conical and is found to be slightly tilted to the left side. Do you know how much an adult heart weighs? Why don't you take a guess? The average weight of an adult human heart ranges between 250 to 350 grams. And what about its size? If you wish to know the relative size of your heart, you can take a look at your closed fist. Because the average size of heart is that of one's closed fist. Now that we know the structure, weight and the size of the heart, let's have a look at the internal structure of heart. For this, we need to take a look at its vertical section. This is how it will appear. As we can see here, firstly, the right side of the heart is separated from the left side with a muscular wall called septum. This makes sure that the oxygenated and the deoxygenated blood remains completely separated. So are we saying that oxygenated and deoxygenated blood are always handled by the two compartments separately? Well, yes. The right side of the heart deals with the deoxygenated blood, while the left side only deals with the oxygenated blood. The compartmentalization is ensured by the septum. Now, along with this, can we see that the right and left compartments are further having upper and lower sections? Yes, this forms the basic structure of your heart, which we usually refer to as the four-chambered structure. Yes, the human heart has four chambers as we see here. Let's define it in a simple way. We can call this the upper right chamber as it's in the upper right region. Similarly, we have the lower right chamber, upper left chamber and the lower left chamber. Now these need to be addressed scientifically also, right? Yes, each chamber has been given a name. The upper chambers are called atria, while the lower ones are referred to as the ventricles. Atria is the plural of atrium. So accordingly, we get the right atrium, the right ventricle, the left atrium and the left ventricle respectively. Let me quickly repeat. Right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium and left ventricle. Now among these four, the atria at the top are the receiving centers, while the ventricles at the bottom are the distribution chambers. The atria receive, while the ventricles distribute. Wait a second. This actually makes it easier for us to know the roles of each chamber then. Because we know that the right side of the heart deals with the deoxygenated blood, while the left side with the oxygenated blood. So can we say that the right atrium is the receiving chamber for deoxygenated blood? Yes. Similarly, the right ventricle is the distribution chamber for deoxygenated blood. Can you guess the functions of the left atrium and the left ventricle? The left atrium receives oxygenated blood and the left ventricle will distribute the oxygenated blood. This is how the heart has allotted its chambers their respective responsibilities. Well, this was about the internal structure of heart. In the next part of this video, let's talk about the mechanism of how the heart works.